TESOL Trainers is your scaffold to success.
Folks, I'm a teacher too, and I teach in the United States. I teach in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I'm a full-time teacher, and I also work with schools in the USA and abroad. So I know what it's like when people take my time. And I know what it's like when our principal says, go here, but sir, I've got to teach. Then go there, but sir, I've got to teach, right? So, say hello to the people at your table. Just say hi. Hi. This side of the room, say hi to that side of the room. Hi. This side of the room, say hi to that side of the room. Hi. This side, make a funny face at that side. This side, make a funny face at this side. Okay. Teachers, do me a favor. Can you help me pass this out right around here on this side of the room? Can you help me pass these out right around there? Everybody have a piece of paper?
Yes.
God forbid I sit in front. So, everybody do me a favor and do like this. What am I doing?
Hold it up.
And what am I doing now?
Go again.
And when you open it up, how many quadrants are you going to have?
Four. I have to count.
All right. Thinking outside the box, okay.
Quadrants in four.
And why do I use the word quadrant?
Because it is folded into four pieces.
Okay, but why quadrant? Why don't I say section? Why don't I say rectangle? Why did I consciously choose to say quadrant? Yeah, maybe it's the target language. My students don't need practice with section. Do yours?
Sometimes.
Do they? Okay, what about rectangle? What grade do you teach?
All of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
But I know my students need help with the word quadrant, much more. And in fact, probably my high school students, when they take the standardized tests that my students take, they're not going to see section, but they will see quadrant. Right? So, do me a favor. On this upper left quadrant, just write feeling. Feeling. Just feeling. Need a pen? On this one, going. Right here, successes. And right here, challenges. Just like that. Look at somebody next to you and make sure they have something that looks like that. If they do, give them a high five. If they don't, slap them upside the head. Sometimes you see teachers just go. Okay. Folks, now do this. Turn your paper over, put your pen on top of it. And why do I do that? Yeah, because I know when I start talking and I start giving directions, if I don't do that, my students are already completing something without really understanding what I want to do. So let's have a little minute right here. Think about how you're feeling right now. Bored, sick, tired, angry. That I'm here, right? So, how you feeling? I could say, pretty darn hot. I've been sweating all day. What's something else you could write there? Another adjective. Exhausted. It's been a tough week.
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, right on. Tell somebody next to you another adjective you could put there. Just tell them another adjective.
Excited.
All right, how about over here? What's another example?
Tell me another one.
I feel busy. I feel busy. Yeah, I guess you could say that. I feel busy. What else? How about over here?
Excited.
I feel excited. Hey, you know, I'm happy to be here. Okay. For this one, you know, how's your year going?
Swiftly. Fast.
Quickly. Or you said swiftly.
Yeah, that's okay.
Quickly. Swiftly. Yeah. Maybe I say, you know what? My year is going, it's going smoothly. Or how's your year going? Oh, I'm having a tough year. I'm having a tough year. You ever have a tough year? I have. Let me see. Raise your hand if you have been teaching for 1 year. First year. Second, 2 years. 5 years. 10 years. 15 years. 20 years. 25 years. All right. So some of us are really veterans. Okay. So if you have been teaching for more than a couple of years, you know that some years are better than others. Some years go easier than others, right?
Yes.
Okay. How is your year going? Tell somebody next to you what you could say. What's another thing you could say? Go. What's another thing you could say?
How is your life going?
You know, I think teaching is a schizophrenic job. It's downs and highs and lows. So you have this.
All right. So, next thing. Successes. You know what? We all have successes as teachers, and we all have challenges. Teaching is not clean. There's no such thing as a perfect teacher and a perfect lesson, right? Because it's bumpy, it's messy. So, what kind of successes have you been having? I'll share with my students. A success that I've been having is in terms of academic language. My students are getting really good at using these key terms in the classroom. What's a success you've been having this year? You want to share?
One of my students is Chinese, and he just started learning English at the start of the year. So for the first term, he was quite mute. But in like the last couple of months or 6 weeks, he's really started speaking more.
Killer! That's a great success. Hey, I've got a student who now is speaking. Speaking more. Right on. How about over here? Success?
Success.
Tell a partner next to you, what's a possible success? Everybody, I need your attention in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's a success?
My success is my students understand very well and
All right, yeah, maybe the comprehension level of my students has gone up. Comprehension. What about a challenge? A challenge you're facing. Right? Things aren't always rosy. Sometimes we have real challenges. Tell a partner right now one challenge you're facing. Go! All right, everybody, I need your attention in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So what's a challenge? What's one challenge that you talked about here? Just real quickly, one challenge.
Students, they actually, as a teacher, we want them to read the question or instruction clearly, slowly, properly, but they just finish it up and answer it. That is one challenge that
Oh
we
my
discussed.
God, that is exactly, they don't read the question before they answer. My students do that too. Okay, so, or they don't read it carefully.
Both.
Don't read the instructions, right on. Or they don't follow them after they read them, but whatever it is, this is a challenge, right? That your students face and my students, a couple thousand miles away, face the same thing. So, now, turn your paper over and complete this for you. Let me get you. So, in a minute, I'm going to have you stand up. You're going to find a partner. You're going to ask your questions. Your partner's going to answer. And then you're going to find another partner. So let's check it out. Let's see what it looks like. I come over here. And I ask my partner, how are you feeling? My partner says, uh-huh. So maybe she asks me the same question. And I say, oh, I'm feeling blah, 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 blah. Then I say, hey, how's your year going? And she says, blah, 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 blah. Then she asks me, and I say, blah, 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 blah. And we ask all 4 questions. We ask all 4 of them. So let's just see for 1 minute. Let's see, can you 2 guys just show us a little bit? Just show us.
I have to stand up.
Yeah, stand up. So he finds a partner and
Hello, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling exhausted.
and they ask how many questions?
4.
All 4. And what happens when they're finished?
You'll find another
They find another partner. Take your paper, stand up, and start sharing. So, right now, turn to a partner and tell that person one thing somebody else told you. One thing somebody else told you. What's one thing somebody told you? Just one thing. Maybe a success. What's a success?
Well, Titin told me that she was very happy with this year. They have done a good job so far.
What's a success?
Okay, I know that Barushi is very excited. Oh, a success. What was a success? A rising grade Barushi.
I thought maybe he was just sad all the time and it's a success that he's excited.
He's
Okay.
always happy. He's in the corner.
What's a success? Oh, very nice. Finishing her graduate program. Nearly, not yet. So we can't clap yet. Okay. What's a success that somebody told you? A success that somebody told you.
She likes this class well.
She likes this class. So folks, look at what just happened. Remember that. Remember what just happened. Compare what just happened with what I do now. What's a challenge that somebody told you?
The challenge is how does writing is not really coming to the level. That's why our challenge is the class writing, student writing.
Ask him. What's a challenge somebody told you?
Mr. Mark Brown, what's the challenge that somebody told you?
Just sometimes just a little bit stressful, just a little bit stressful, just with always being really on top of everything. You know, I think that's something that I heard from a couple of people.
Ask her.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi. Something, a challenge that you were told? What challenge were you
Yeah.
told?
like she told me like that. Her students, at first her student couldn't use present tense and past tense well, but now her students can use tenses, that present tense and past tense.
All right, so that sounds like a nice success, right? We ask her, what's a challenge somebody shared with you? Ask her. What's a challenge somebody shared with you?
Yeah, what's a challenge?
She told me sometimes when she takes the classes, there will be some misunderstanding what the teacher wants to say and the student, how the student cope what the teacher say. There is some misunderstanding points.
Good point, right? Speaking is easy, communicating, it's a miracle. So, with a partner, what was the difference between the first one I did, successes, and the one we just finished, challenges? What was the difference? I didn't see a difference. It was the same. Share a partner. Share with a partner. What was the difference? All right, everybody. So like teachers do all of the time, after our students do an activity, we kind of take the pulse, right? I ask them, hey, what'd you get out of that? What was the main idea of the story we just read? And then I say, what did you think the main idea of the story we just read, right? Don't you do that?
Yes.
Don't you ask for your students' ideas?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you ask your students for their ideas. Did I ask you for your ideas here?
Yes.
Yes.
How about here?
Yes.
But I did it differently. The first time, what did I do? Let's back up. What's the success you've been having? What's the success you've been having? What's the success you've been having? Right? That's what I did the first time. Second time I did this. What's the success you've been having? Ask him.
What's the success you've been having?
Ask her.
For the
What's the success you've been having?
what the success you've been having?
What was the difference?
Teachers to students.
The first time, who got 50% of the practice? I did. I spoke half of the time. What about the second time? Students spoke all the time. So think about your students. If all 100% of my students do not speak.
For more information on the types of professional development TESOL Trainers offers, and to get John Kongsvik and his team to offer training to your educators, go to www.tesoltrainers.com.